We have 45-ish% over on this phone. That's good. All right. Boom. Welcome back, everybody. I am waiting for TikTok to load up. It is having a glitchy starting experience and is not beginning. So we are just stalling here and going, whatever could it be? Is the Wi-Fi off? If you actually know, hmm, that's concerning. What's going on here? What is going on? What is going on? Oh, did it connect? Are we on? Are we on? Hello, hello, hello. Are we live? Something went wrong. Try again later. Okay. Um, hmm. Let me try that again. Turn on TikTok. Plus, it's live. Let's resume. Are we on? Are we back? All right. There we go. Boom. Sorry for the technical difficulties. TikTok malfunctioned. I restarted the app, and now everything's looking fine again. So it's time for us to begin. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we're about to put ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. And it's time for us to begin. We're going to start with some hip carves. They look a little bit like this. We're going to start by bringing our knee up in front of us as high as we can, a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. Then we're going to open up that leg directly to the side. Boom. All right. I want you to keep your hips still facing forward, this leg still facing forward. So all this movement is happening at the joint right here, right? In the hip socket. From here, I want you to try to lift your knee up. Open that hip wide, flex your glutes a little bit, pull that leg open. Then we're going to rotate the leg. I want you to bring the knee so that the top of your knee is pointing forward and your ankle is hidden behind it. All right. From the front, it's going to look like the ankle has disappeared, but from the side, it's going to look horizontal. All right. From here, we're going to rotate the knee some more. We're going to bring it down, 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 down. Ooh, feel the contraction in your hamstrings as you rotate, and we're going to stop by bringing the leg down and back. When the leg is down and back, we're going to get into this position. Hamstrings are flexed, glutes are contracting, and we're feeling a stretch right here in the front of our hip. That is one rep. I was struggling to balance, slipping and sliding sideways so you can see what's going on with my leg. But I'm going to face you for the rest of this round, and you can mirror me. All right? Let's get ready to go. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's one. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's two. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's three. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's four. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's five. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's six. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's seven. If you are off balance, take a second, reset, and keep going. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's eight. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee, lift, 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 open, lift, 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 rotate, rotate some more. Keep rotating. Bring that knee down and bring that leg down and back. That is 10 reps on this one leg. Whew. Shake out both legs. Relax for a hot second, and let's get ready to continue on the other side. All your weight into one leg. Keep that core nice and strong, and let's go, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's one. High knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's two. High knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's three. High knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Really, really try to point that knee that way. Rotate. Bring the ankle up, down and back. Is that 4 or is that 5? I think it's 5. Let's go. Knee, high knee, knee a little bit more. Knee, open, ankle, down and back. That's 6, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9, last 1, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whew, those are hip curls. All right. The goal of those was to use our own muscles to bring our legs as high as they can go. So we build strength, we build control while we build some mobility. All right. Oh, hopefully, it's taking a hot second to catch your breath because we're going to go in reverse now. All right. When we go in reverse, the main thing that is different is that we're going to start by going down and back, flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, feeling the stretch in the front. We're going to lift this leg up to the side. Feel the contraction right here in the side of your hip. We're going to rotate the knee down, just like before. Then we're going to rotate the leg up and bring the leg forward. All right. I'm going to face you so it's easier to mirror me when we do these. Let's get ready to go. Spread your toes. Get nice and strong in that standing leg. Keep your core tight and let's begin back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 1. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 2. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 3. If you are new to this show, we're doing 10 reps on each leg. You do not need to do all 10 because when you're first starting, you're not going to have a whole bunch of the coordination that you need in order to be pushing yourself into a really deep position. You might need to take a little bit longer to get into each position, and that is okay. It's part of the process. All right. I just want you to try your best. Go as deep as you can in each direction and do as many as you can in the time that we're doing them. All right. The reason I'm talking about time and not reps is because the slower you do these, the harder your muscles have to contract to hold you up, and it's going to be really tiring. All right, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 9. Let's do last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 10. Ah, whew. We got one last hip to go. Take a couple of breaths, catch your breath, relax. Shake out your legs. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, shake, shake. Shake some more. Flop around, relax, wiggle, and wipe off your sweat because we're going. Let's do it. Spread those toes. Get a nice strong grip into the ground. Root yourself, and let's go. Last leg. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here. Lift that leg up to the side. Lift a little higher. Lift a little higher. Lift a little higher if you can. Rotate the knee down. Rotate the knee up. Bring the leg to the front. That's 1. We're doing 9 more. Let's do this. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 3. Remember, the goal is to contract your muscles, to lift, to rotate as hard as you can while maintaining a little bit of balance. And work on getting into deeper ranges of motion so you build strength, you build mobility, you build control all at the same time. I think that's 5. Let's keep going. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 6. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 7. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 8. 2 more. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 10. Ho, 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 we are done with our hip curls. If you are sweating, if you're hot right now, that is completely normal. Those are not easy. They were very intense. Your leg's doing a crazy amount, and then the leg that was trying to keep you balanced was doing a crazy amount of adjusting to keep you upright while your other leg was going crazy, flipping all over the place over there, right? Take one more breaths. Relax. And let's get into warm-up exercise number 2. What I want you to do is called the elephant walk. What we're going to do is fold at the hips. Bring your belly button down towards the ground. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Breathe. And We're gonna add a little bit of movement now. All right. I want you to bend one knee. I want you to straighten out the other leg. I want you to fold your belly button down towards the ground, like so. And I want you to switch your leg from one side to the other side. So the leg that's bent is switching. The leg that's straight is switching. We're just switching from side to side. There's not an exact number I want you to do because I'm going to take this opportunity while you're trapped facing the floor to tell you about the rest of the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we're currently putting ourselves through, that we will continue to put ourselves through every single day, a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. All right. So if you like side splits, if you want to work on your hip mobility, if you like the idea of having a bunch of other people helping you stay consistent, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep on following along. All right. Let's go a little deeper. You've been doing these for a bunch of seconds, a bunch of reps now. I want you to focus on that belly button one more time. I want you to really bring it down to the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Yours does not have to look like mine. All right. And let's keep going. Bend and bend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Pop into a squat. Come back into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. We're going to move on into our third warm-up exercise. It's called thoracic rotation. We're going to get back into the position we were just in. Legs decently wide. Knee bent. Legs straight. Belly button down. We're folding forward. All right. What we're going to change up this time, though, is we're going to take the hand from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to push off that leg. We're going to open up and rotate our chest and our back. All right. I want you to stick your other arm into the air as high as you can, as straight up as you can. Then I want you to breathe. Inhale. Exhale and reach over your shoulder. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale. That is half a rep. We're going to do the other side. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. Arm from the bent leg side is reaching across to the straight leg. We're pushing off that leg to help rotate our chest. Extend your arm up into the air. Rotate your neck to look at your hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Whew, that is one rep on both sides. The exhale is very important. So when you're trying to reach and you're trying to rotate, do exhale. Let a ton of air out of your chest. That will take pressure out of your torso and it'll let you twist. All right. We're doing a total of 5. We got 4 more. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Fold forward, rotate. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2. And inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2 again. And 3. And 3. And 4. And 4. 5th and last one, we're going to do it from the top. We're bending one knee. We're straightening the other leg. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side. We're reaching across to the straight leg. We're pushing off that shin to help us rotate our torsos. We're going to stick our other hand up into the air. Inhale. Look at the hand. Exhale. Reach. This is number 5. Reach, 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 reach. And other side. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale. Reach. That is our thoracic rotation. Hopefully, you're feeling a little bit more mobile in your spine, in your back, in your hips, in your shoulders. You can do a little wiggle, a little shake, shake out that tension. All that rotation is not going to be super easy for a lot of us. So if you can, try and do a little something with it. All right. The easier it is to make it fun, the easier it is going to be for you to maintain your mobility. All right. Oh, that is our third warm-up exercise. We're going to move on into our fourth and final one. All right. It is called the Cossack switch, and it looks a little bit like this. I'm going to scoot back so that the camera doesn't cut me off entirely. All right. What I want you to do is come down on one leg into a deep squat. For some of you, you might stop right here. All right, especially if you're new to the show. If you've been here for a while, you've been hanging out, you've been working on your hip mobility, maybe you'll go a little deeper, or a little deeper, maybe a little bit deeper. Maybe your thighs will touch your calves and you'll rest deep on it. If so, great. If not, don't worry about it. Wherever you are in this movement, our next step is to go that way. All right. If you're low enough to the ground, you might want to use your hands for a little bit of help, a little bit of assistance. Shift your way over to the other side. If you are a little bit higher up, maybe you don't need the assistance. Maybe you can go ooh, and bring yourself over. If you're somewhere in the middle, you're not super high, you're not super low, you're somewhere in the middle, maybe you want to grab a coffee table, an ottoman, and use that for a little bit of support to come on across. All right. Could be a couch, could be basically anything that can give you a little bit of support. All right. I got some yoga blocks here to help demonstrate, but not necessarily what you should use for however high you are off the ground. All right. That we're going to count as one rep. All right. We're going to do 10 of these in total, so we got 9 more. Again, let's get as low as we can. Take a second, find what you need to help you get over, and come on over to the other side. Inhale, exhale. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into the ground on that exhale. All right. And then slowly come on back. We are not in a rush. The goal is to work on that full range of motion, focus on relaxing. All right. We've done 2. Let's go. Number 3. Come on across, sink into the stretch. Come on back, sink into the stretch. Keep going. That's 4 and 4. At this point, if you're looking for something a little bit more difficult, maybe you don't need to use your hands. All right. If you want to keep using your hands, please use them. But if you're looking for something more difficult, feel free to skip it. Come on across, sink into the stretch, drop a little lower, and come on back. That's 5. Let's do another. Across, and back. That's 6. If you are ready for something a little crazier, something a little harder, we're going to try and sit up a little straighter. All right. I want you to flex your low back muscles. I want you to bring your chest up. I want you to stick your arms out in front of you and keep going. 7 and 8. We got 2 more. If you're ready for something a little bit different, we can take some pressure off of our knees by coming up a little bit higher. All right. And it looks a little bit like this. On your next rep, come on up just a little bit, slide across, and then sink down so that you're focusing on the stretch at the bottom and not so much on the pressure in the knee when you're sliding from side to side. All right, we're back on this side. Drop down a little deeper. That's 9. Again, come on up just a little bit. It's all relative to where you are. If you're already pretty high up, go up a little bit more. If you're really low to the ground, come up a little bit. All right. And that is 10. Those are our Cossack switches, Cossack slidey things, and that is our warm-up. We have just completed 4 of our warm-up exercises. We got 5 stretches left. If you are new to this show and you got no idea what's going on, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to work on our mobility, and work on our side splits. If you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you want a little bit of help practicing consistency, because we are here every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern time, which means we started about 20 minutes ago. If you're interested in all those things, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back because we're here every single day. And also don't leave because we still have like 40 minutes left of side split stretching. All right, we're gonna move on into our first stretch. It's called the hamstring stretch, and I want you to go grab a little bit of cushioning, a little bit of padding for your knees. All right, you don't need anything fancy. I'm gonna grab a yoga mat that is rolled up, and if you don't have a yoga mat, it's totally fine. If you have a couch cushion, if you have a decorative pillow, if you have something with a little bit of foam in it, that will be enough to get us started. It could be a flip flop, it could be a pair of sneakers that you don't care about anymore. Whatever it is, go ahead and grab it, and we're gonna start in a couple of seconds. All right. Once you've grabbed your cushion, I want you to kneel on it. So if you're using the yoga mat or something relatively thin, see if you can make it a little bit more cushiony by folding it or something like that. And once you're here, I want you to focus on getting your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your head in a nice straight line Then extending a leg out in front, all right, while maintaining that nice straight line. From here, we're going to fold our belly buttons down to our thighs. We're going to go and sink a little into our stretch, all right? Just feel it in the bottom of your leg. That is our hamstrings. Breath in. Exhale and fold. Woo. As soon as you get stuck folding forward, pause. You don't have to push any harder. Inhale. Relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Flop. Turn into jello. All right? We're going to do that again. Inhale and relax. Inhale. Let your body flop over that leg. Third time's a charm. Let's do it again. Inhale. Relax. Whew. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Right now, we are having probably rounded backs. All right. If you're just chilling, if you're just relaxing, that's probably fine. If your back is tired because you're trying to smash your face into the knee, you're trying to round yourself and turn yourself into a little ball to squish yourself into the floor, that's working too hard. Chill. All right. It's just relaxation. It's not about turning yourself into a ball. Cool. All right. From here, we're going to add a little bit of movement. I want you to bend the knee and bring it up a little bit higher. I want you to fold your upper body down towards that leg. I want you to touch your thigh to your chest if you can. All right? And if you can't, just try your best. If you can, do it. From here, put your hands down on either side of your leg and see if you can slowly straighten that leg back out. Oof, that is one rep. Let's do it again. Knee up, chest down, straighten out that leg. Knee up, chest down, straighten out that leg. That's 3. Keep going. Knee up, chest down, straighten out that leg. That's 4. And let's do it again. Knee up, chest down, straighten out that leg. What we just did was practice the skill of folding forward. And it's time for us to take that skill and get a little deeper into our stretch. All right, what we're going to do is called the inhale, exhale, fold. We're going to take a huge breath into our lungs. We're going to slowly exhale that air. And while we're exhaling, we're going to fold. We're going to bring the belly button down to the ground. All right, let's do this. Inhale. Big breath in, exhale in, fold, 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 fold. That brings us a little deeper into our stretch. All right. Inhale, relax. Let's go. Big breath in. Let your body flop over that leg. Again, inhale. Relax. Let your body flop. Third time's a charm. Inhale. Relax. That is 3. We're going to bend the knee, bring the chest down, straighten it out again. Let's go. 5 times. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. This time around, you might notice you don't have to bring the knee as high to get your chest down to it. All right? If you can go a little lower, go a little lower. That's 3. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 4. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. That's 5. All right? Breathe one last time. Inhale. Exhale. Flop over that leg. And now we're going to go a little bit deeper. All right, we're going to take a big breath in. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Big breath in. Exhale and fold, 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 fold. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. And we're going to knee bend again. Let's do it. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. We're doing 5. Stay as low as you can. You don't have to bring your knee up super high. We're trying to push our limits. That's 3. But you don't need to go fast. You don't need to be explosive, all right? That's 5. Once you're done with those, we're just going to chill. We're going to hang out right here. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Whew. Come on out of it. breathe, relax, try your best to chill. And hopefully you found that you can go a little bit deeper than when you started. All right. When I show you for the first time, when we get stuck on that first fold and we go, that is where I actually truly do get stuck when we first start this stretch. And you might have seen that towards the end, I'm folding way, way further. That is the result of taking the time to do all that breathing, all that knee up, chest down, straightening stuff to get the muscles to relax, to get the muscles to practice what we want them to do. All right. So hopefully you found that that was helpful. You're folding a little bit deeper. You're feeling a little bit more confident in your hamstrings. If you immediately lose the flexibility like half an hour after the show ends, that's completely normal. All right. What we did was relax into a stretch. And for us to really own it, to really keep it, you got to get those muscles also really strong. It's not what we do in this part of the show, but I'm just letting you know because I would love to do a little bit more strengthening in a future show at another time. All right. Anyways, hopefully your legs are relaxed now. We're ready to move on to the leg. All right. Knee down, torso up. Let's continue. Stick your other leg out in front. Get ready to fold your belly button down to the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Fold some more. Fold again. From here, we're getting ready to inhale, relax. Inhale. Relax. Again, inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Third time's a charm. Let's do it. Inhale. Relax. Fold a little bit deeper. Let your body chill. If your back is rounding, it's okay if it's relaxed. If you're trying to turn yourself into a ball, you're really putting a lot of pressure on your upper back and your mid back, trying to smash your face into your knee. That's too much. Chill. All right. Knee bends. Let's go. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. These do not have to be fast. Take them slow. Give them some time. Really try to bring your chest down to that leg. And then when you strain it out, try to keep your chest low to the ground. Feel that stretch. This is the fifth one. Let's go. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. It's time for us to go a little deeper. I hope you're ready because there's nothing else to do. Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's do it. Big breath in. Exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Exhale, exhale. And inhale, relax. Let your body flop. Again, inhale, relax. Let your body flop. Third time's a charm. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's one. Knee, chest, straighten. That's two. Knee, chest, straighten. That's three. Knee, chest, straighten. That's four. Knee, chest, straighten. That's five. Let's get ready to go a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale, fold. You all ready? Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Fold, exhale, fold. Bring that belly button down. And inhale, relax. Let your body flop into the ground over that leg. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper. Third time, inhale. Relax. And knee bend, chest down, straighten it out. Knee, chest, straighten. Knee, chest, straighten. That's two. Five in total. Knee, chest, straighten. That's three. Knee, chest, straighten. That's four. Knee, chest, straighten. That's five. We're going to hang out here, hold for 30 seconds. All right? 30, 29, 28, 27. If you want, you can just do inhale, relax. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Slowly bring that heel in underneath you. If you want, you can try to take a second to stand up a little straighter, flex your glutes, flex your abs, straighten out your body, wake up some of those muscles that were kind of relaxing as you flop forward, and breathe. That was a really intense hamstring stretch. All right. Part of the reason why it's so intense is because some of the other stretches that we're going to do is going to require you to have a little bit of hamstring availability so that you can focus on some of the other parts of that stretch because we start combining different muscle groups after this. All right. Whew. We're going to move on into our second stretch. It's called the butterfly. I'm going to take off my socks because the floor is a little slippery and I can't be slipping that much. And I'm going to unwrap this yoga mat a tiny bit so the floor is a little grippier. All right. What I want you to do is sit with your butt, your shoulders, your head up against a wall if you can. If you have some sort of furniture that you can comfortably lean against, feel free to use that. We're going to bring our feet together. We're going to pull them in towards our groin, and we're going to get into our starting position, which looks a little bit like this. Right? The goal of this stretch is to feel it here in the inner thighs and the adductors. All right. And the way we do that is by bringing the knees down towards the ground. I want you to get stronger. I want you to build strength and mobility at the same time. So I want you to flex your glute muscles. I want you to flex your outer thigh muscles. I want you to contract them and pull them down into the ground a little bit like this. If you're new to the show and you're like, what? That's crazy. I don't know how to do that. Don't worry about the details. Just focus on two things. One, you want to feel a more intense stretch in your inner thighs. All right. And two, you want to try your best to bring your knees down just a teeny tiny little bit. As long as you're moving in the right direction, that's all that matters. All right. Next, we're going to take our hands. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure to the inside of the knee. We're going to push as straight down as we can. You're going to feel a whole bunch of pressure in your inner thighs. That is what we want. As you breathe, I want you to slowly try to apply a little bit more pressure on the exhale. All right, 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28. Push a little deeper. 27, 26, 25. If you're feeling a really sharp, intense pain, you don't have to push any harder. All right, you can stop the stretch altogether. But if it's just dull discomfort and it doesn't feel good, but your knees are opening up and going closer to the ground, then great. Keep going. All right. 20, 19, 18, 17. Keep breathing. On the exhale, keep pushing your legs down a little deeper. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Last couple of seconds. If you want, you can try to contract those glute muscles, contract the outer thigh muscles. Keep pushing down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax everything. Shake out your arms a little bit. Let the wrists relax. When you're applying a lot of pressure, they tend to get a little stiff. Flap the wings of your legs in this butterfly stretch. Get them moving. And when you're ready, we're going to move on into our third stretch, the standing pancake. If you're a regular, you've been here for a while, feel free to experiment with the seated pancake and all sorts of other variations of that. All right. But if you're brand new to the show, we're going to talk about the standing pancake, which is going to be the version that most of us is going to benefit the most from. Most of us are going to benefit the most from. All right, toss your squishy yoga mat away. You don't need it anymore. We're going to move on into our pancake. All right. The goal of the pancake is to fold your upper body in between your legs like so, and preferably with your legs a little bit wider. All right. What that means is from the side, once you open up your legs a little bit, it's going to look a little bit like this. Us folding forward. You're going to get stuck wherever you get stuck, and that's okay. And the reason why we're doing the standing pancake is because gravity is applying a lot of pressure, trying to bring your head, your chest, your belly button down towards the ground. Right? To make it a little bit more intense, you can extend your arms up like so. And next time you breathe, inhale. Exhale. See if you can fold a little bit deeper, let gravity pull you down. All right. From here, you got some options. If you want to make this more intense, you can hold something in front of you, a little weight, a bottle of water, a small dumbbell will be plenty to get you started. You don't have to do any of that. You can just focus on letting your arms do all the work, right? And we got a couple other options. One of them being, if you are currently folding really far forward, your face feels a little too close to the floor for comfort, or your hands are basically touching the ground, you can stick your butt back a little bit. When you stick your butt back a little bit, it's going to do this. It's going to pull your whole entire torso up. It's going to lift your fingers off the ground, and you're going to feel a more intense stretch. All right? And so, if you're feeling advanced, stick your butt back a little bit. Cool? Finally, the last thing to add. If you want, you can open up your legs a bit wider. All right? You're going to feel more of a stretch in your inner thighs, and it's going to struggle. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be uncomfortable. That's okay. That's part of the stretch. Again, that's optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Okay? Let's get into position. Fold forward. Bring your belly button down. Extend your arms in front of you. Hold a weight if you want. Scoot your butt back if you need to. And let's go 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. If at any point you need some support, put your hands down. Totally okay. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Put your hands down for realsies. Take your weight off your legs. Slowly try to wiggle your legs in together. You might want to do a toe in, heel in, toe in, heel in, toe in, heel in until your legs are underneath you. Walk your hands up your leg. Come on out of that stretch. That is our standing pancake. All right. You should have felt it in two main places. One of them is in your hamstrings. This is part of the reason why we spent so much time on the hamstring stretch, because in the pancake, or whenever you're folding forward, your hamstrings are going to let you know they're getting stretched. All right. But as we get more advanced into our pancake, we also want to open up our legs a little wider while we're focusing on folding a little further, a little deeper. And that is the last and final instruction I gave you when I was sideways. When you hang out in this position and you let your inner thigh muscles, these muscles, the ones we just stretched out doing the butterfly stretch, contract and hold you up, hold you stable, these muscles are going to suffer and be really unhappy. All right, so it's quite possible you're feeling the struggle right here in the inner thighs. There's a pro and there's a con to that. The pro is you're suffering. The con is that you're suffering, but the pro is when you spend time in that position, when you are suffering, when your muscles are contracting, holding your whole body weight up like you were in your folded forward pancake, those muscles are also getting stronger. The stronger you are, the easier it will be to drop a little deeper into your side split. All right, so those are the pros, which means it's really good for you, even though it's full of suffering and it's not very fun. All right, that is our third stretch. We get to chill a little bit, kind of, depending on whether or not you like this stretch, I guess. Keisha hates it. Keisha's on YouTube. I don't know if she's on yet today, but no, I think she has Taekwondo today, so maybe she won't be on. But we have the pigeon or the figure four. For you guys at home, if you're a regular, feel free to jump into whichever one you prefer. But if you're not a regular and you're new to the show, I'm going to demonstrate the pigeon. We're going to talk you through it. All right. Both stretches, the figure four and the pigeon, look a little like this. We're taking one leg, we're crossing it over to the other side, we're grabbing the ankle, we're pulling it up, we're bringing our belly button down to that leg. We're feeling the stretch here in the side of the hip. This is a glute muscle. All right. You're also going to feel a stretch here in the hamstrings. Most of the time, your hamstrings are going to be behind your leg, underneath your butt. But when you rotate the leg like this, it's going to be sort of on the inside. All right. You might also feel some pressure here where you're actually doing the folding. That is completely normal. All right. So let's get into position for the pigeon. We do this stretch mostly on the floor. I want you to come on down into this position where the leg is crossed in front of you. And I want you to find this middle line between your eyeballs, down your nose, down your mouth, to your belly button. All right, this straight line right here. Then I want you to find the midpoint between your knee and your ankle, more or less like somewhere right here. I want you to take this middle line. I want you to fold it forward so that it matches that midpoint on your leg. If you got really long legs, it might be a little bit more or less, in one direction or the other. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Just aim for a midpoint to start. Cool? And the stretch looks a little like this. We're folding forward, we're folding forward, we're folding forward, we're bringing that middle line down to that midpoint, and whew, that is our stretch. Cool? We have some optional ways to make this a little bit more intense. I had my leg just shooting out to the side. For some of you, that might not be very comfortable. You can experiment. If you prefer, you can have the leg sort of bent off to the side. I find that it's less comfortable for me to do it this way because I got a lot of pressure right here in the hip, and it's a little bit more difficult to fold forward. Whichever way you like, feel free to jump into it. But there's another way to do this, and you might have seen this if you've gone to a yoga class or watched some yoga videos or something. The leg is across, and this back leg, instead of off to the side or off to the side or bent to the side, it is sticking straight out back behind you. All right. This version is going to have a huge stretch in the front of your hip. It's going to put a whole bunch of pressure probably on your knee. All right. You can do a couple of things to make this a little bit more comfortable. One of them is trying to get onto your toes so that your knee is not suffering the pressure of getting slammed into the ground. The other thing you can do is fold forward a little bit. Stop trying to stand up so straight, so tall, and that's going to take some pressure off the front of the hip and the knee. All right. And finally, the third thing you can do to make this pigeon stretch, this variation of the pigeon stretch, a little easier for you, and this applies to everyone, is elevate that front leg. All right. Unless you are insanely flexible, when you elevate the front leg, your hips will also come up. When your legs come up, there's going to be way more room underneath you for this leg to go backwards without, the knee immediately smashing into the ground. When you got the space, when you got the extra room, it'll be much easier for you to focus on the pigeon stretch while having that leg go back behind you. All right. So pick a variation that makes sense for you. You can stick with the basics, just folding forward with your leg off to the side. You can elevate your front leg. It doesn't have to be yoga blocks. It could be a very sturdy stool, chair, coffee table, ottoman, sofa, bed, anything that will support your weight, keep you stable. All right, let's get ready to go. We're taking this leg, crossing it in front of our body. We're taking the middle line between our eyes down to our belly button. We're folding to the midpoint between the knee and the ankle. Ready? Extend the leg back behind you if you want to. Again, optional. You can just leave it off to the side and keep the hips low as they can go. Then bring your torso down. Fold, 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 fold some more. Keep folding. Oof. Feel that stretch in the side of your glute, in your hamstrings. And I want you to turn into a piece of jello. All right. I want you to flop into the floor. I want you to sink. 30 seconds. Breathe and sink. 29. 28, 27, 26. Every time you exhale, sink a little deeper into the floor. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we're almost done. 1, 0. That is the first half of our fourth stretch. We're going to switch on over to the other side. All right. I'm going to face you this time. And I don't know if it's going to give you any additional information that's useful for you, but I'm going to face you. All right. We're getting right back into the position that we've been doing. Middle line down to that midpoint of your leg, right? Between the knee and the ankle. We are extending the other leg backwards if you want, optional. And we are sinking our hips into the ground, and then we're folding our belly buttons down. I think somebody just scored in the World Cup match tonight because my friends are celebrating. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they just missed and almost scored. All right. Once you're folding forward and chilling, 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28. Keep breathing. Sink into the ground every time you exhale. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Sink a little deeper. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our fourth stretch. That is almost all of our show. All All right, we're gonna move on into our fifth and final stretch. We're doing some side splits. It's about 45 minutes into the live. We're gonna probably wrap this up in the next 15. If you've never been on live before, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. Clearly, we're pushing closer to 60, and we do this every single day, starting at 9 p.m. to practice a little bit of consistency. All right, 9 p.m. Eastern time, which means we started 45 minutes ago, and we do this every day to help make it a little entertaining, make it a little bit more fun, so that it's easier to stay consistent with. AR says, my right hip is tighter than my left. That is completely normal. It's the same for me. My right hip is tighter than my left. My left, I can fold way deeper than I can on my right. This is why a lot of these stretches are one leg at a time. And we intentionally choose variations that are one leg at a time so that you can figure out one leg is holding you back and you can focus on each one, getting them to the next level separate. Cool. But yes, getting even is kind of useful. So if you know you want to work on one versus the other, focus on that one a little bit more. All right, maybe start with that one. Cool. All right. Where are we going with this? We're moving on to our fifth and final stretch. We're doing some side splits. If you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you like consistency and having people help you stay consistent, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. Otherwise, let's move on into our side splits. What I want you to do before we begin is grab a little bit of something for hand support. All right. We are eventually going to end up in a position that looks a little bit like this. Legs wide, hands on your hand support, and your butt preferably resting against the wall for butt support. All right. And what I want you to rest your hands on is what I want you to go get. If you have a small stool, perfect. If you have a small coffee table, a small ottoman, something that's sturdy, that can support your weight and is light enough to move around without being like, too floppy, too flimsy, that is going to work great. I don't know why I kicked it so hard, but take a moment, go grab something you can put your weight into. And if you have a full coffee table, great. If you have an ottoman, awesome. If you have a chair that is feeling strong, is feeling durable, if it feels like you're a little too high off the ground, you can always stick your elbows onto the chair, all right? And that'll help bring you down a little bit. All right, let's get ready to go. Take your hand support and bring it out in front of you. Stick your butt up against a wall. And I probably should start with that. Pause, restart. Rest your butt up against the wall. All right. And then we're going to open up our legs just a little bit, nothing crazy. 30-ish degrees is plenty. We're going to fold. We're going to bring our hands down to our hand support. So hopefully you've pulled your hand support right in front of you. Cool. From here, we're going to get a little bit deeper into our stretch. See if you can let your legs go out a little bit wider. Let your butt rest against the wall, your hands on your hand support. All right. The reason we're doing this is because we want you to feel like you're in control. You don't feel like you're about to slip. You don't feel like you're about to fall. You don't feel like you're about to lean over because you got all these different ways of keeping you supported. All right. Once you're here, we're going to rotate our thighs. We're going to rotate our whole legs to get one of these lumpy, nubby parts of our thigh bone to not smash into our hips. The way that works is this. We're going to rotate our legs so the heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. But we got to do both sides. So boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. Put your hands on your hand support. Let your butt come on down towards the ground and keep your heels down, point your toes up, point your knees up. All right? Yours does not have to look like mine. Just try your best and find a comfortable position for you. All right? The reason why I'm emphasizing the comfort is because when you are feeling secure, when you're feeling stable, when you feel like you're in control, it's going to be much easier for you to relax into a deeper stretch. If you feel like you're about to tip over, if you feel like you're about to slip and lose balance, if you feel like you're about to collapse into a little heap on the floor, your muscles are going to tense up to keep you from falling and keep you from being able to relax. That is not what we want. We want relaxation. We want to drop into a deeper stretch. So adjust your butt position, adjust your hand position, adjust your heel position. Find a spot where you feel like you're in control, where you can relax. And once you're there, we're going to test it. We're going to relax. We're going to take a big breath in. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. See if we can sink a little deeper into your stretch. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just keep on trying. All right. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. So you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. That's 2. Let's go again. Inhale, hold, exhale. So you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. That's 3. These are optional. You don't have to continue if you don't want to. All right. If you're ready for a little bit more, you can try a tiny wiggle to the right, a little tiny wiggle to the left. See if you can push your heel out just a little bit further. And once you can't go any further, we're ready to start our side splits. If your toes are pointing up, your knees are pointing up, your head is pointing up, we're just counting down. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Push your hand support out of the way if you can. Try to walk your hands forward a little bit. Bring your knees in underneath you to get out of that stretch. Take it nice and slow. And that is our first side split. Whew. We're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. That was our first round. In between each round, we're going to shake out the tension. We're going to try and relax to get our bodies to chill out so that we can get into a deeper second stretch. All right. So come on back up into standing. Take it slow. No rush. Breathe. And once you're feeling a little bit more stable, I want you to start shaking out one of your ankles. Nice and slow to start. Pick up the intensity of that shake, of that flop as you get more comfortable with it, right? If you're not feeling pain, you're feeling chill, you're feeling cool, shake a little harder, flop a little harder. The goal of the ankle shake is to help your muscles relax. If your ankles are flopping really hard from side to side, chances are the muscles that would stop it from flopping really hard side to side are relaxed because it's letting you flop, all right? Let's switch over to the other side. Start that shake nice and gentle. It doesn't have to be fast, it doesn't have to be intense, but you can slowly up the speed. You can up the mobility, up the range of motion, flop a little deeper in each direction if you want. And as you flop, you should realize more and more muscles in your legs are relaxing. That's what we want. Cool. All right. Hopefully, you can take a couple of steps now. You realize, hey, my legs are moving better than when we first got out of the ground, out of our side split. That would be good. And we're going to move on into our hips. All right. I want you to put all your weight into one leg, big toe, the other leg down. So you're in this position. All right. I want you to really contract your glute muscles. I want you to open up that leg so this knee is pointing way out that way, right? As far that way as you can. Then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to flex some muscles here on the inside of the hip. We're going to bring this knee in. When you're first getting started in this show, I want you to build control. I want you to build strength. I want you to build mobility first. And this is a slowed down basic version to get you started. Maximum range of motion with control. And as you get more comfortable with it, you can pick up the speed. You can start trying to use it as a way to relax. You can start shaking out that leg. Shake, 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 shake. Some of the muscles fire just a little bit, but the rest of the leg is starting to stay loose and chill. And if you are just joining in for the first time, it's not that important that you get to the shaky, shaky relaxation right away. It's more important that you build up strength. All right, let's do the other side. All your weight on one leg, big toe is down. Flex the glutes, point your knees out. Flex the inside hip stuff. Bring your knee in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And as you get more comfortable, speed it up. Shake a little harder. Flop around. Shake, 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 shake. Just like before with the ankles, the goal is to shake so much, relax so much, your muscles are flopping around, going crazy, letting you know that you're loose. We're going to move on into our second side split. All right, we're going to go a little bit faster this time because you know the drill now because I've explained it to you in depth in side split number 1. We're taking our hand support. We'll bring it in front of us. We're taking our butt to the wall. We're opening up our legs. We're getting ready to fold. All right, hands on your hand support, butt against the wall. Bring those legs a little bit wider. From here, I want you to rotate the legs so that your hip bone doesn't smash into your thigh bones. And we're going to go boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. Other side, boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. Preferably keep your hands on your hand support when you do this, and keep on resting the butt against the wall, adjusting your hand support. Find a nice, stable, comfortable position for you where you don't feel like you're tipping, you don't feel like you're sliding, you feel like you're in balance, you're in control. All right. Now we're going to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's go. Third time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. These are optional. If you're ready to go a little bit further, feel free to do a little wiggle to the right. Push that heel out. Little wiggle to the left. Push that heel out. To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Just a tiny, tiny little bit of adjustment. And we're ready for side split number 2. If you want, you can stay in the stretch that we just did, right? Where the knees and the toes are pointing up and their chest is up, our head is pointing to the ceiling. You can also change it up and do a second version of the stretch where you bring your hands forward a little bit so it looks like you're about to do a push-up. All right. When you bring your hands forward, you're going to bring your knees and your toes, instead of pointing straight up, it's going to point at a diagonal in front of you, 45-ish degrees. That is going to shift the stretch so it's in your inner thighs. That is what we want for stretch number 2. Let's go ahead and get started. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. If you feel like the stretch isn't as intense as the previous one, bend your elbows. That will put more pressure into your legs. And 22, 21, keep breathing. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward again. Bring your legs in underneath you. Take your time. Slowly bring your legs in. And that is side split number 2. Take a couple seconds, breathe, catch your breath, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. Chill. All right, we're going to move on into side split number 3 right after we shake out our legs, shake out some tension. Slowly come back up into standing. Woo. And let's go shake out the legs. Ankle, 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 ankle. Ankle, 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 ankle. Ankle some more. Ankle, 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 ankle some more. And remember, the goal is relaxation. All right? Shake, flop, wiggle. Pretend you're a piece of overcooked spaghetti. Flop around. And once you've shaken out enough, you feel like it's okay, you can switch over to the other side. Start nice and gentle. Pick up the intensity as you get more and more comfortable with it. And once you're ready to move on, drop the leg, take a couple of steps, shimmy, shuffle, do a little dance move, move those hips, move those legs, make sure everything is going well. And we're going to move on into our hips. All right. I want you to put all your weight into one leg, big toe is down, bring the knee in, out. The arms don't actually have to move. I just like to do the crissy-crossy thing. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And if you're ready to take it up to the next level, shake it up. Go ahead and flop around, shake, 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 shake that leg. All right. Other side, let's go. All your weight in one leg. Big toe is down. If you're new to the show, focus on the maximum range of motion. Really bring the knee all the way in, opening up that hip, bring the knee all the way out, in and out, and 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 shaking out the leg. Shake, 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 shake. Relax your muscles, flop around, wiggle, chill. Let's get ready for side split number 3. Grab your hand support, put it in front of you, and bring that butt to a wall. Take half a baby step forward, open up those legs, fold forward, put your hands on your hand support, bring those legs a little bit wider. Rotate the legs so that your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up. Scoot your hand support to where it needs to be so that your butt is resting against the wall, your hand support is holding you up, and your heels are helping you out. All right? Once you have found your comfortable position, you got all the support that you need, let's breathe, let's sink a little deeper. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's go. Keep going. Inhale. Hold. Relax. Third time's a charm. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Relax. Exhale. If you want, these are optional, do a little wiggle. To the right, a little to the left, a little to the right, a little to the left, a little to the right, a little to the left. See if you can get just a tiny bit deeper. Again, optional. You don't have to do it. And we're ready for side split number 3. You got the option of doing side split number 1, where your knees, your toes, your head are pointing straight up. You got the option of doing side split number 2, where you're rotating your legs so that their knees are kind of pointing up at like a 45-ish degree angle, and you're going to feel it more in your inner thighs. Which one you choose is up to you. Just get ready to go because we're holding for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your hands down. Woof, 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 woof. Come on out of that stretched position. Bring your legs in underneath you. Oh, that is our third and final side split. I do a version where I just use my inner thigh muscles basically to hold me up in that stretch. And you do not have to do a crazy version unless you want to. All right. If you want more information on the crazy one, let me know in the chat and we can talk about it. Otherwise, we are done with our 3 side splits. All right. That is all the hard stuff in our show. And that was really hard. That's why I am not moving yet. But if you're ready to move, slowly come back up into standing. We're going to shake out our legs and get ready to wrap up. All right. Take a couple seconds, flop, shake, wiggle, relax your whole entire body. We started with just the ankle in the beginning, but now I want you to start trying to relax everything. Your hands are working real hard, supporting you up in your hand support, right? Your legs, obviously, we're struggling quite a bit, trying to do some side splits. So give them some love, give them some shaking, give them some flopping, let them relax. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 and whew. Oh, let's work on the hips. All your weight in one leg, big toe is down, knee in and out and 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 other side. In and out and 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 in and out. And that is the majority of our show. We're going to get into a couple of joint checks to make sure everything is working pretty good, and we're going to wrap up. All right. I want you to get into some hip circles. Take them nice and slow. Really lean into those joints and see if you can get a nice stretch real deep in your hips. All right. I like to start like this. Feel the stretch real deep in the left and right side of the hip. Oh, come on back around and keep on leaning nice and deep into that stretch. Whew. Do a couple of loops one way and do a couple of loops the other way. Take your time with it. Oh, if something feels like you want to spend some extra time on it, feel free to spend some extra time on it. Oh, and we're going to move on into a quick high knee. Boom, boom. If your knees come up, you don't have to worry about them. Just keep on moving. We're going to move on into our final exercise. We're going to test a whole bunch of joints, a whole bunch of muscles all at the same time by doing some calf raises in a squatting position. I want you to keep your feet about hips width apart, not super wide, not super narrow, hips width apart. We're going to drop into a squat. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. We're going to lean really far forward so that it feels like we're about to tip over. All right. And then we're going to push our knees really far forward so that we got a nice crazy stretch in our Achilles tendon in the back of that lower leg. And we're going to feel like we're even more going to fall over. All right. The reason why we're doing this is because it forces our toes and our feet to kick in to really try and grip into the floor to keep us from falling forward, and that's what we want. From here, I want you to put your hands at your side if you can reach, great. If you need to hold on to something else for a little bit of support, feel free to hold on to something else. But we're ready for some calf raises. I want you to really focus your weight on your big toe and your index toe. I want you to come on up, come on down, come on up, come on down, come on up, come on down. Do as many as you want. Keep on leaning forward. Keep on pushing the knee forward so you're feeling that deep stretch in your Achilles tendon. And take as much time as you want. All right? And once you're ready to call it quits, wherever you are, oh, let's talk about what we just pulled off. We had a great stretch in our calves, in our Achilles tendon, right? And then we contracted those calves real hard to work on that calf raise. Our quads were firing, trying to keep us balanced in that crazy squatting position. Our feet, our toes were trying desperately to grip the floor to keep us from toppling over. The arch of our foot should have been kicking in to keep the foot stable. Our low back was firing to keep our torso leaned forward. And when we were doing those calf raises, doing those squats, our hips, our knees, our ankles had to work pretty well together to make it happen. All right. So chances are most of the joints that we were working on today, if you were able to pull off those calf raises, probably are doing okay, and you can go back to whatever you gotta do for the rest of the day. All right, that is our live. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility, working on consistency with me today. Hope you had fun. Hope you're starting to cool off now, because that was intense. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you about other stuff that I do, and I'm gonna look at the chat for some Q&A. I saw this come in a whole bunch. Caitlin says, "Let's do it." Ouch, this is ridiculously intense. I think I broke my old bones. I'm sorry. Uh, it's yours doesn't have to look like mine. I've been doing this for hundreds of days every single day. So uh, don't feel a need to rush to make yours look crazy deep, even if you've had that depth, that intensity before. Sometimes you just need to give your body some time to adjust and get used to stretching again. And if you've had that amount of flexibility, if you've had the ability at some point, your body is going to adjust to it much quicker uh, than somebody who's never gotten there before, right? So don't don't rush. Yes, take it easy for 99 more days. That sounds great. The goal is consistency, right? Like the show is obviously fantastic because we're getting some exercise, we're getting some movement. It's good for our hips, and we get warmed up. That's all good. But the end result is that we're practicing a little bit of consistency. For most of us, they don't need to be a crazy gym bro to have much better movement, to make your life a lot easier, to move a little bit more pain free or pain less painful. Maybe not pain free, but less painful. And to make some of the things that you got to do every day a little bit easier, right? And that should be how majority of people, I think, should be looking at it. If you have never taken some time to train your hips and your hips are a little bit achy all the time now, maybe that's a sign you gotta spend some time training your hips so that your hips don't ache, so that you don't have to go through the next 30, 40, 50 years with hip aches, right? At least, you should put in the effort to try to really address it. And if your muscles do solve that problem, maybe you don't have hip discomfort for 30, 40, 50 years. That is a totally worthwhile trade off rather than going through the rest of your life going, oh man, my hips, or, my knees, my low back, whatever it is. So you got to have consistency. I was trying to figure out why I was talking about this. I was like, where did it go on a tangent? What's hard isn't necessarily the exercises themselves. What's hard is staying consistent with the exercises. It's to consciously think, okay, I have to make these a little bit harder, to not get complacent with the easy thing that, got easier and easier and easier because you got stronger over time, right? And for most of us, there will be a very, very clear moment where you're like, yeah, I don't need to be any stronger. The side splits, for example, for most of us has absolutely zero benefit in your regular life, right? Like there's no need to work on your side splits. But the side splits are a result of training your hips and building a ton of mobility so that you have so much that you can get into your side splits. And if that goal of getting the side splits is a fun way to keep you motivated so that you do the hip mobility, then awesome, great, right? At the end of the day, I don't care how you practice consistency. I'd love it if you hung out, we worked on side splits, we worked on hip mobility together. But if you find that you can be way more consistent rock climbing with some friends, great. If you can be way more consistent doing dance, fantastic. If you can be way more consistent finding a group of friends to go cycling with and you got like awesome walkie-talkie earbud things to communicate and you're all like cheering each other on, fantastic, right? Like most of us need a little bit more movement. And if you can find a way to stay consistent with it, to love it, to really enjoy the time, maybe not because you love the exercise itself, maybe you don't like cycling, but maybe you like the people that you're cycling with, whatever method you hack together to make it work for you so that you are moving your body a little bit more, you're doing a little bit more for yourself. That is all that matters. Hopefully, this live is able to offer that a little bit for you. It's here to remind you that consistency is really important and there's a lot of different ways we can work on it, right? This live is designed to be doable every single day. So that means we don't go out of our way to super beat ourselves up, turn ourselves into a little puddle of "Ugh," on the floor after every single day, because I want you to be able to go, hey, 9 p.m. Eastern, which is when this time when this show starts, is the time where I do a little bit of exercise, right? Um, I want you to build your schedule around setting some time aside for this version of self-care, right? Doesn't have to be that you do side splits and hip mobility with me forever. What is important is that you created some time. It is the time you're doing some exercise, you're doing something fun, you're doing something for your body at this time. And hopefully you can take that to whatever version of exercise, whatever version of fun activities that you want. Um, and you go be a badass or whatever else you want to do, right? That's what consistency does. Most of the really cool things in life that you want to achieve requires a bunch of consistency. When you have to survive, make money, go to work, that's one thing, right? When you have obligations like going to school, that's one thing. But when it's for your personal hobbies, for your personal interests, it is much, 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 much harder to stay consistent when you kind of have to suffer occasionally and go, oh, okay, fine. Today I will also do the thing that is kind of rough today. So hopefully the live, because we turn it into sort of like a group fitness class in this context, you're a little bit more encouraged. There's a couple more compliments. There's a couple more like excited people in the chat. It doesn't feel like you're just sitting at home alone doing some lame stretches. You get a little bit of weirdo on the internet joking around, weirdo being me, and you have a little bit more fun. You're a little bit more entertained that way. All right. Is there anything else I gotta say? If you like to listen to like habit building styles of content, um, there is sort of this idea that if you show up and you practice something consistently, somewhere in the back of your mind, you are becoming a more consistent person, and your self-talk, how you see yourself, will slowly change over time because you recognize that you are someone who stays consistent. That is what I want for you. I want you to come out of this live, this show, this time that you spend with me with better hip mobility, but also a deeper belief that you are somebody who can be super consistent, be badass, or whatever you want to keep on doing. And you get a little check mark somewhere in the back of your head going, I'm a badass and I'm super consistent. So hopefully, hopefully that kind of comes through while we're doing the live. And hopefully this post live pep talk helps you feel a little bit better about the hard work you pulled off today. All right. Okay. All right. I'm ready to wrap because I'm at my friend's house and I want to go hang out and they're watching the game. So I'm gonna real quick scroll through the chat and see what else we need to address super quick, especially questions and comments like that, and then we'll wrap up. Uh, Caitlin over on YouTube says super consistent badass. Love it. Okay. Awesome. That's great. And what else do we have on YouTube? Queen R says, hello, let's do this. Great. All right. I'm gonna scroll over on TikTok real quick. Usually there's a lot of comments, so I'm gonna go fast. Sarah Croft says, "This was very nice. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you for hopping into the chat and letting me know that you liked it. Because that makes it much easier for me to keep showing up." All right. Malky says, "I've been doing wushu for months now, but we mostly focus on front splits. I'm in awe attempting this." So what's really funny is the reason why I do side splits is because my hamstrings used to be so tight that the first time I did anything that resembled splits when I was like 15, um, my front splits were worse than my side splits. Usually, the way this goes on the internet is most people's side splits are going to be way, way, way more difficult to hit and they're going to be worse. But I found that I could get a little bit lower in my side splits. So I was like, boom, side splits are the splits for me. I don't care about the front splits. And so that that's that's why we're still doing the side splits. It's been way more than like 15 years since I first attempted one, and I was like, wow, I really want to get these, and I still have not got them. That could sound like a really depressing story, but that is sort of the reason why this live exists, right? For a long time, like every New Year's resolution would be like, oh, I'm gonna get this plus this year, and most of the time around Christmas time, I'd be looking at the best tutorial for side splits in X amount of days on, on YouTube. I'd be compiling a list of exercises, a workout, and then I'd do like 3 days of it, first week of January, and then I'd drop off and I wouldn't do any until like June. And I'd be like, oh man, I really gotta, double down on this to make progress in the side splits. And then I'd do like 3 more days of side splits in June, and then I'd drop off again until the new year. So I'd get like 6 total workouts over the course of a year, thinking I'm going to get the side splits this year. And this will happen over and over and over and over again. And part of the reason was because I was trying to do the most intense, like bestest, most effective, fastest workout version to get my side splits. And what I have realized after years and years and years of not getting the side splits is that if I focus on the best workout, chances are it's not the best workout for me, right? What I needed was consistency. What I didn't need was the super crazy workout that left me sore for like 4 days afterwards. And then, try to trick my brain into thinking that I'm supposed to do this 3 times a week or 4 times a week. And then completely skipping the workout for 6 more months. So that gives you a little bit of context to why this show exists. At some point, a year and change ago, a year and a half ago, I decided this is enough. It's ridiculous that I have said I'm going to work on side splits. I'm going to get my side splits for years and years and years, and I haven't actually done anything to make any progress in the department. So the live started as a way to help keep me consistent, to help keep me accountable, because I went to a whole bunch of group classes at the local YMCA, and I was like, hey, this is so cool. I don't really like feel super excited to come to class and like I'm not super jazzed to be here, but once I'm here, I'm doing the work, I'm getting the exercise in, and it feels good. And so I want to recreate that environment for my own personal goals, in this case, the side split, and slowly that evolved into this live that I do daily to keep me accountable, to help you guys stay accountable. And now I do this 7 days a week, which does not mean that you have to come in 7 days a week. For most people, you're probably fine coming in 4 or 5 days a week. The live is built around a couple of studies that show if you're getting about 5 minutes in a stretch per week, that will be enough to build a little bit of flexibility. If you do the show 4 or 5 times a week, that will be plenty to get 5 minutes. And it is not just the stretch specifically, it's the muscle group that's getting stretched. Some of our stretches works more than one muscle group at a time, right? So I've done the math. You don't have to worry about it. Just show up a couple times a week. You'll be good. All right, you'll start making progress. Um, that's a long ramble. I'm gonna keep scrolling. But Malky, thank you for the compliment, and I wish my front split was much better. AR says, we appreciate you so much. Thank you. Catchy says, that was. True Blue says, evening. Catchy says, thank you, Ken. And Travel Director says, that was great as always. Sasha says, thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you for sending good vibes at the end of life. I appreciate it. Miss Born El Poet says, you're a great teacher, man. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I'm going to scroll fast and see what else we have missed. AR says my right hip is tighter than the left. I saw that earlier. And then I was way far back from most of the rest of the chat. So I'm going to keep scrolling and see what else we got. Point them toes to the nose on the hamstring stretch. That is good advice. Um, when your toes are pointed that way, you do a contraction in your calves. And when you do the opposite, when you point your toes up, your calves get stretched out. All right. And so when you are trying to really focus on folding forward, when your whole entire leg is stretched out, it's going to feel a little bit different than if some of this is tight. Um, at the end of the day, the looser your whole body is and the more control you have over the whole body, the better it's going to be. All right. Oh, all right. What else we got? I'm gonna scroll. My glasses keep slipping. I'm sweating so hard. Missy Sue's, what exercises if I'm having back of the knee pain? Um, I've looked into this multiple times and I can't remember any of the stuff I've looked into. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I got no idea. You're gonna have to ask somebody else. What else we got? Because I have also had back of the knee pain, but I can't remember what I did to address it. I probably didn't do anything, and I just let it go, and then it disappeared on its own. So that is unfortunately all I can think of at the moment. I am gonna keep scrolling and see if we got anything left in the chat. Nope, that's everything. All right, I'm gonna scroll all the way down, take one last final look at the chat, and get ready to wrap for the day. Marita says, you're right. Consistency is the key. Awesome. Good. Good. I'm glad you feel that way too. It's, it comes up all the time, right? Like if you watch any YouTube video about fitness, they'll tell you the crazy exercises that you should do, how many reps you should do, and then the thing is like 2 times a week, 3 times a week, however many times, whatever. At the end of the day, results typically come from a bunch of consistency, right? Learning typically comes from a bunch of consistency and it's sticking through when you don't even want to anymore, right? When you start learning something new and your head is hurting, you're like, "Ugh," and you're frustrated all the time trying to like figure out the thing. That's when learning happens. And it sucks because you're just grumpy and unhappy and you're frustrated and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And the only way for you to grow is to suffer through that thing, right? Consistency is simple, but is not easy. And the same, hopefully, not now because you keep on doing the live, but the same generally applies to basically anything you're trying to progress in, right? When you first start, there might be like a quick wave where you're getting a lot better at something, and you're like, oh man, look at this, I'm like growing much more skilled at whatever it is that I'm doing, and you'll maybe see results immediately. Um, that might get you like really consistent for the first couple of weeks in whatever you're doing. And then for most people, you start plateauing off. It stops getting so exciting. It's really boring because maybe, the easy first couple of days worth of learning is straightforward and you like go from beginner to like intermediate real fast, but then intermediate is just a really long drawn out grind. And that's where most people fall off. It's real easy to start something new. It's real hard to continue. And this is not me saying you should go continue and do something you absolutely hate forever just because you should make progress in like some random thing, right? If you truly care about the thing, you thought about the thing a bunch of times and you keep on stopping, is normal. It's normal. It's really hard to stay consistent. So don't beat yourself up about it, but find ways to make it easier for you to stay consistent. This live exists because it's an easier way for me to stay consistent. I have done like 500 of these shows at this point, and I don't think I've done 500 days of basically anything. I mean, like brushing my teeth using the bathroom, right? Like, I don't think I've done 500 days in a row of basically anything else, including the weekend, Saturdays and Sundays at 9 p.m. So, um, this is what I figured out for me, and I hope live as I've created it and have changed it over time helps you to stay a little bit of consistent, a little bit more consistent in the side splits and the hip mobility, but it helps you to find ways to take some of the ideas that you see, some of the ways that we do the show, and incorporate that into your own life in some other capacity so that you can be consistent at whatever else you care about. All right. That's a lot of rambling from me today about consistency, about the purpose of consistency. I'm gonna wrap up right here because I think the chat is done. Thank you so much again, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility. I am ready to wrap. I will see you guys tomorrow night at 9 p.m. If you are not in the Eastern time zone, where we start at 9 p.m. This show started at an hour and 25 minutes ago. That time, every day, Monday through Sunday, we're here practicing a little bit of consistency, working on our hip mobility, working on our side splits. So I'd love to see you tomorrow. All right, or the day after, or the day after that, and hope to see you soon. Cool. Let's get ready to go. Hit follow, hit subscribe if you like any of the things that I've said today, and we'll keep doing it. Cool.